So you have a camera, a flash, maybe 2 cameras or lenses. And now you're wondering, how do you find clients? In this video, I'm gonna share with you 5 steps on how to get new photography clients. And I'm also gonna share with you a few tips on how to keep those clients. All right, so you approach someone, you see someone that looks like they need a picture, and you say, hey, I'd love to take your photo. The first thing they're gonna ask is, can I see some examples? So that is step number 1, is having a solid portfolio, solid examples of your work. It doesn't have to be an extensive portfolio. 10 photos is more than enough, as long as they're solid images, the best of the best. Make sure when you load them on your iPad, on your phone, or on your website to separate them. You don't want your wedding photos intermingling with your food photography or your product photography. You want to have separate pages or separate websites for each aspect, each genre that you shoot. For this, you might want to shoot some stock, get some practice shots, shoot family and friends, do collaborations where you exchange photos with the model. You want to get the best of the best. Shoot a free real estate photo shoot, or the most beautiful house out there. Go shoot that house. Even if you do it for free, you'll build a nice portfolio that people are gonna want their house to look like that. The next step is marketing, putting yourself out there, networking. Put yourself in situations where you're gonna meet the people that need your work. If you want to be a food photographer and you don't go to restaurants, you're never going to find someone to hire you. You got to put yourself out there. You got to be in those circles. If you want to do headshots, who's going to do headshots? Well, big offices, doctors, dentists, lawyers, real estate agents. You have to meet the people that are going to be your clients. In social media, you have DMs, you have emails, Facebook pages. You get to see who's in your area. You don't want to stalk anybody, but you can see who's in the area and then you can pitch them later. But you need to network, you need to get people to know who you are and what you can do. And then when the opportunity shows up, they'll think of you first. But if you don't put yourself out there, it's always going to be a no. If you put yourself out there, it could be a yes, it could be a no. But you know, the odds are way better than if you don't do anything. Now, step number 3, and this one's almost embarrassing that I even have to say this, but your confidence and how you put yourself out there are very important. I get emails that look like a 5-year-old wrote them. The punctuation marks, the grammar, and trust me, this is the worst thing for me. You see me here making videos. I make up words all the time. I use the wrong words. When I'm talking to the camera, my brain goes faster than I can think, so it's harder. But when I'm pitching a client, I really rehearse it. When I'm sending an email, I read it 5 times, use something like Grammarly if you want to make sure that you're typing and everything is the best it can be, but make it look professional. This way, they're gonna treat you like a professional, not like a 5-year-old. When I get emails here for YouTube to promote a product, to try to do some kind of work with somebody else, a lot of the emails I just delete because they just don't look professional. They don't look real. Don't send emails over the weekend because they're gonna get lost in the shuffle, and then by the time Monday comes in and they go to the office, they're gonna be a ton of emails, and yours is gonna be 1 out of 100. So send them on a Monday afternoon or a Tuesday morning so that they get it fresh. And then on Friday or the next week, send a follow-up email just to remind them that, hey, I'm still here. The next step is to find your price. This way you can weed out clients. So let's say you're starting out, you charge a couple $100 for a photo session, and your client says, no, I only pay 100, then don't waste your time. Know your worth, have a price, know what you want to charge to make this work. It's a business. You have to make money. I know when you're new, it's really hard to figure out your prices. I started out at like $200 for the photo shoot, and then I realized that's not enough. With a little more practice, I was better. Now I was charging $500. Now I do photo shoots for $5,000 or $10,000. It depends on the situation and who your client is, and also where in the world you live. So knowing your client, knowing your minimum price for the amount of work you want to do is going to really help you find those clients and find the clients that are worth your time. Does that make sense? I hope it does. The next step is to remember to over-deliver. Go the extra mile, do a little bit extra with the editing, add a video, add something that's different that your client's gonna be happy. A happy client is a returning client. Hand deliver the images. If you can, be faster than what you promised. You might give them 2 or 3 weeks. And if you can finish in a week, bring them over and be excited, be happy. Show them on an iPad, show them face to face so you can get their reaction. Just keep that in mind. If you want return business, you have to keep them happy. It's simple, and I know I probably shouldn't even be saying it, but a lot of people don't do this. All right, now let's start with the tips. Make sure you have 2 or 3 connections with the brand you're working with or that company. You wanna make sure that if one person leaves or gets fired, that you still have a contact in that company. That way you're not gonna go with them. The second tip is, I know we all wanna work with the big brands and big names, but the small ones might be the ones to get a notice. So don't be afraid to work with smaller brands until you get some momentum, and then the big brands might even approach you instead of you having to approach them. There's different websites like Pixieset, Shotproof, Zenfolio, where you can deliver an online gallery and upsell your photos. If you're working with portraits for families, these websites can offer prints and product. Being able to pay for a membership to these websites and then deliver your galleries that way can help you make more in the upselling stage. Now, the next thing is get to know your client, get to know who you want to work with. Families are great, small businesses are great, but they don't have the budget that a big brand or a bigger company does. I work with a lot of families, portrait sessions, family photos, things like this. They're great. They're a great way to get your foot in the door. They're a great way to get practice, to get some income coming. And if you could book a lot of clients in your city this way, that's great. But if you can approach a school, that's even better. Because now you're doing senior photos for a whole class. Now you're doing class photos and albums and sports and all these things. It's the same type of photography, but in bulk. If you're good at what you do and you can approach a school and land that job, that's awesome. Again, working with a brand, in my experience, is a lot better than working with individuals or smaller companies, because smaller companies just don't have the marketing budget that bigger companies do. And then the last tip I got for you is to stay creative. Keep learning, keep practicing, keep doing new things that clients are gonna be like, wow, that's awesome. If you keep bringing the same year after year, companies wanna evolve, they wanna grow. You should be growing as well. Practice, shoot stock, upload to these agencies, learn, and continue to grow as a creator, whether it's photo, video, or both, which by the way, you should be doing both. It's really gonna help you stay relevant and keep those clients. I hope all of this makes sense. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.